We now have active protests, according to the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, at about 200 campuses. That's about 15% of U.S. four-year universities are now having protests. Most of the protests are okay. They're peaceful. There haven't been too much violence or counter-protesting. But overnight, as you saw at UCLA and previously at Columbia and in some of the other locations, we've had two reactions against it. We've had counter-protesters who are thuggish and violent, sometimes masked. They bring in sticks and metal and wooden weapons, and they use firecrackers, and they threw like motor scooters and all kinds of other objects at the protesters to attack them. And in the case of UCLA, the police looked on for nearly 4 hours and did nothing. They did nothing to protect the pro-Palestinian protesters. And then today and previously at Columbia and some of the other campuses, the authorities have gone in not to protect the pro-Palestinian protesters, but to evict the pro-Palestinian protesters. And they used rubber bullets, tear gas, and flashbang grenades, arrested 125 students at UCLA and chased away another 1,000 protesters. This will just provoke an even bigger reaction at the universities. So instead of de-escalating, what we're having right now is an escalation provoked by pro-Israeli counter-protesters and by the university administrations. Now, we have 50 different states and 50 different policies. There's no federal policy. And as Biden said today, he doesn't believe the National Guard should be sent in. But what Biden did is he did not do anything to help the situation. He said that there's a free speech principle and there's a safety principle and rule of law, and sort of that rule of law should trump the free speech to some degree, which was not helpful. It's just going to stoke more resentment on the campuses as they try to change the U.S. policy that's complicit with Israel.